Hey, what's good, my Sun Soul Tribe? Thank you for tuning in for another episode of your daily transits on Sun Soul TV. I am the spiritual bodybuilder. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get right into this. I'm filling in for my super homie Maruma too. Man, I just want to real quick. I want y'all real quick to give yourself a pat in the back for first and foremost being alive and just tuning into this and being okay in these changing, very fascinatingly transformative times. And the fact is we are okay. All right, if we tune into the present moment, everybody's all right. There's so much. It's like the consciousness earthquake is happening, right? And, of course, they say you got to be really careful. You don't want to get this, thing that's going around. I don't even want to say the word anymore because it's getting ridiculous. But what the real problem is like the real virus is the fear. The real virus is the panic. The real virus is staying attached to things that are no longer serving us. Right? For many, many years, for a long time, we've been doing this work. We've been waking up. We've been clearing out this, we've been, all the work that we've been doing for the last few years has been leading us to this point. And now the universe is calling us to gather all the skills, all the knowledge, all the experiences that we've had and put them into this moment because you can look at it from multiple different angles, but the fact is that human consciousness as a whole is rising up. The lows are becoming higher and the highs are becoming higher, if you know what I mean. And this deeply Plutonian and Saturnian energy is, I would say it's peaking, but it hasn't even peaked yet. Okay. It's going to continue to get more and more weird. And the really funny part about that is that the more weird it gets, the more you're like, come on, dude. Like, that's not real. The more of a chance that it probably is fucking real. It's no joke. So let's go right into the charts. I just want to tell you guys, I love you all, and I'm sending you all my best, biggest, a big, energetic cosmic hug, because that's what we all need right now. Okay. I know I'm doing well in this energy, and Maru's doing well too. She's feeling much better. I'm just filling in for today to make sure that she gets a full recovery. So I hope you guys don't mind me filling in again today. So let's go into the energy, because today in particular is a pretty fascinating position. Now, look, pretty much every day has been a highly transformative and highly significant day. Okay, so I know I'm sort of beating a dead horse here when I'm saying like today is a significant day, but this is a significant day in the sense that the sun now is officially in Aries season at 0 degrees of Aries. So happy birthday to all my Aries out there. I'm Aries rising, so I love y'all, and I'm feeling you. But this is also the very first degree of the entire zodiac. So I feel really honored and grateful that I'm able to, deliver this message, this energetic transmission to you guys today, because this is literally the first day of the astrological new year. This is the new beginning. This is the start of this biggest metamorphosis that we're ever going to see in our lifetime. 0 degrees in any sign is the void space, right? But 0 degrees of Aries is in between the end of Pisces. It's in between the end and the beginning. Not to mention, we're going from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. So being that it's coming out of Pisces going into Aries, I feel this very deep and very, like, this is like literally the first official day of the hero's journey, guys. And we are all on our own journey as we enter this higher dimensional energy, which even, like all the work that we've been doing, this shit is real. All right. Like this shit is real. No kidding. And to make it even more real, we have the sun basically, getting ready to conjunct Chiron, coming into this new moon, which is going to sort of be like like we're at the starting line right now, right? And, when it reaches, 4 degrees, that's going to be when the gun goes off. Bang! That's when we're going to really move forward. But what's still vastly more intense and important is this ongoing triple conjunction. Also, of course, while, Saturn, this is the last day that Saturn is at 29 degrees. So this is literally where the Saturnian bubble is going to pop. Okay. And all this stuff about, the structures like coming apart, falling down, like it's so fascinating to see how in alignment, how accurate the astrology is with the world events, right? Like all these structures, all this corruption, all this, greed and all this, lower vibration, negative energy is coming out to the surface to be exposed. And literally as all this is coming to its apex, Saturn is at the very last minutes of the last degree today as we start this new hero's journey in this new year. I mean, you can't make this shit up, right? And with the moon in Aquarius, with Saturn soon to follow, this is starting to give us a taste of that Aquarian energy. So as all these systems, this scaffolding of our consciousness, as well as the scaffolding of the systems in our world on every level, macro and micro, we're going to start to see and feel and understand the energies that we're coming into. So what is the Aquarian energy? Because, with the moon in Aquarius, my moon is in Aquarius. So, and, Aquarius represents humanity. It's the humanitarian in us all, right? It's an air sign. It's fixed. Can be stubborn, okay? But it's ruled by Uranus, right? So being ruled by Uranus, it's unexpected, but it's revolutionary. This is the feeling that we see everything crumbling, but deep down, at least if you're aware of what's going on but beneath the surface, that, wow, this is unprecedented. And that this is going to change humanity forever. You understand a lot? Forever. Now you're never going to forget that from me saying that. We are being changed forever, guys. And this is giving us a little taste, right? So with the moon there in Aquarius, it's saying we all need to learn to come together, but in a new way. This whole social distancing thing, it's making us get creative and try to find new and interesting ways. And everybody's showing like their love and appreciation. Well, I won't say everybody, but a lot of people. We're starting to realize like, wow, what do we really appreciate? What do we really value? Okay, like how can we do our part in humanity to make this world a better place? And with the moon exactly conjunct Jupiter today, and both, Mars exactly conjunct Jupiter, and with them just being 2 degrees away from Pluto, this energy I feel is all connected together. So, Mars and Jupiter alone, that's like feeling this deep, intense, this feeling of this life purpose, okay? Because, Capricorn rules 10th house. 10th house has to do with life purpose, has to do with meaning, has to do with going out there in the world and making something of yourself. It has to do with leadership, right? Leadership of self, leadership of our consciousness, like taking action on what we want to see in the world. And right now we're all sort of being forced to take a step back and get a clear view of seeing how do we want to see our world proceed? How do we want our children, what kind of world do we want our children to grow up in? Right? Are we going to sit back and just let it crumble? Or are we going to take some fucking action and make some shit happen? That's Mars and Jupiter. Like, bam, we need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, that we're taking care of our loved ones, that we're doing our part to get out there into society. Now, right now, of course, we can't actively get out there because Capricorn, 29 degrees with Saturn there and Pluto. This is also about going above and beyond for precaution, right? Jupiter is putting a magnifying glass on these energies, and the Plutonian energy is you know, like this deep underneath, like it's almost like saying like, okay, we need to go real deep and real intense with the conservation and protection of everyone to let this stuff uncover. So it's almost like as everything stops, it's allowing this crap to come up so that it can be let go of, right? So, you know, because Jupiter expands everything that it comes in contact with. So, you know, like it's almost like as we're being forced to sit back, we're all sort of getting like this, it's like revving up in our soul, in our consciousness. Like, where do we want to go with this? What do we want to do? Now, like, we're going to have to get creative. What other things? It's forcing us to think outside the box. You know, with in Aquarius is all about thinking outside the box. It's about evolution. It's also about technology. Okay. So they're going to require technological advancement. A lot more people are going to be working from home, working online, right? Because right now most people cannot work, you know, at their workplaces. So getting really, you know, learning about technology and educating in new and different ways and getting really creative and inventive, that's the energy that we're coming into. Now, you know, Aquarius also represents like group gatherings and things like that, which were being suppressed right now. And it's so interesting that all this energy in Capricorn is, I feel, making way so that when we are able to all get together again, it's going to be celebrations, it's going to be gratitude, it's going to be appreciation. It's going to be like, yay, you know, we made it through, you know, like, but also having a new sense of understanding or gratitude or appreciation for just being able to have gatherings, and a new appreciation for humanity in and of itself. You know, like human beings are interdependent by nature. And I think that humanity has come to a point where we've become too codependent on systems, on people, on substances, on places, on ideas. And this is scrubbing clean that codependence. And with the sun coming into Chiron, this is looking at these very vulnerable parts of ourselves that have had us sort of stuck to these attachments, to these addictions almost, right? Addictions to a way of life, addictions to these belief systems, addiction, even like the currency, the way that businesses and governments are run, just everything down to the very core. I mean, if you think like, really, if you look at this year with all the different very rare aspects that we're having, like I honestly don't know because I haven't researched this yet, but when's the last time Mars, Jupiter, and Pluto were all conjunct in Capricorn? It has to be at the very minimum 500 years ago, if not longer than that. Probably longer than that, more like 800 or 900 years ago. But you know, I'm going to research that. And Maru, check that out, okay? And let's talk about that. Let's see what was going on in the world back then. And you know, then with the Saturn Pluto conjunction, all these happening right at the same degrees, guys. This is no joke. It just, for me, it just happens to be right on the cusp of my 9th and 10th house. Very interesting. So we also have here, let's go ahead and look at the aspects here because there's some pretty fascinating things here. So we have Venus square the moon today. Jupiter trine Venus, which is a beautiful, beautiful aspect. That's a lesser benefic and the greater benefic, both in earth signs, you know, communicating and really getting along. You know, that tells me that, you know, like gratitude and appreciation for relationships, looking at money differently, looking at power in a like, this is just a whole lot of gratitude and appreciation. We have Mars trine Venus. This is the divine feminine trine the divine masculine. This is the different parts of our energy starting to realign after all this chaos and craziness. Saturn is sextile the sun. That is beautiful. We're getting clear information. Now, with where Mercury is at in Pisces, it's still going through that hazy place. But this is like deep down in like the core of our soul. We know and we feel that these shifts are changing for a reason. And with Uranus sextile to Mercury, you know, this is bringing us revolutionary and evolutionary ways of thinking, like aha moments, epiphanies, like getting creative and actually going forward with these creative aspects of our thought process and being able to start to implement them in very unique ways. You're going to start seeing people doing a lot of things, like experimenting with a lot of new things, and some things might be cool, some things might not, but you know, going with it and just having the courage to get out there and try shit. You know what I mean? Now, Chiron and the Sun are square the nodes, which of course is like that. That's that tension, along, of course, with the Pluto energy. You know, conjunct to basically still Saturn and Jupiter and Mars. That's that earthquake, that incredibly uncomfortable death and rebirth. Like our humanity is all having like a collective death and rebirth, which is so fascinating and so intense. We are literally rising up from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. This is like consciousness, like, sorry guys, no more time left. It's time to go, right? So, you know, we also have Lilith sextile over to Mars and Jupiter. And I would like to put Pluto in there too, because that degree is still in there. So with Lilith in the mix, you know, sextile over there. So Lilith is very powerful in Pisces, and it's at 22 degrees, which is a master number. Okay. So this is like, you know, especially, you know, with this quarantine stuff, like we want to get, you know, quarantine freaky. We want to have some fun. We want to explore. We want to get touchy-feely. We want to get playful and sexy time, right? So, you know, but being in Pisces is going to be very emotional. Like we want to feel good about ourselves. Like we want to feel sexy. We want to feel like comforted. We want to feel consoled. Now, it's still pretty close to Neptune. So this could be, you know, we have to be careful because this could be addictions. This could be just, you know, like, hold me, please. And then after you're done, you're like, okay, don't hold me anymore. You know, I'm done. Next. And you can see like around, like on social media and stuff, people are, you know, posting all this stuff. Like, you know, it's like having like a big crew of pregnant chicks, like, you know, 9 months from now, you know, for being quarantined. It's kind of funny, but that energy is kind of like this Lilith conjunct Neptune in Pisces energy. It's just like you have this emotional, like you just want to fucking be ravaged or ravage or get ravaged, or, you know, it's this deep Kundalini or tantric kind of energy that, you know, we have to be careful, especially with, you know, Mars and Pluto, because that's very primal and sexual too. Okay. And if we're not careful, this primal sexual energy can be counterproductive. That's where like all this, like, you know, what happens when someone gets really sexually frustrated? They get pissed off, and now we have no gyms to go work out at. So it's like people are just like, I don't know what to do with this energy. I'm frustrated. I'm pissed off. Rah. And that's when people start to, you know, start fights over toilet paper at Walmart. You know what I mean? So this requires a creative outlet. And with the moon in Aquarius today, that's going to help. But still, Mercury is in Pisces, and that's like still like very emotional. A lot of emotions to work through. We have the nodes coming in a couple days to 3 degrees. So it's getting really close to this pinch point now. But thank God, you know, Venus is exalted over here. I'm sorry, it's not exalted. It rules Taurus. So, you know, we want to feel good. So we want to just feel good in a healthy way, as healthy as humanly possible. That's gonna, and you know, Venus is the human body. So don't be going out there like getting junk food and, you know, buying chips and smoking cigarettes. Like that's not taking care of the human body. You want to be able to, you know, appease the 5 senses in a healthy way, especially right now with everything going on. It is critical to keep that immune system up. Okay. So as we come into this new beginning, this new world of Aries season, we're shifting from a mutable sign to a cardinal sign, right? So it's like all this unknown, we're going to start to get this feeling like, okay, I get this fire lit under my ass. I got to move forward. I got to go, but we have to figure out a new and creative way to do this. This is getting massive downloads. This is getting infused with new energy, but it's like, you know, we're sort of filling up the gas tank, but then we have to get in the car and drive. Okay. And getting the car and driving is not quite going to happen until, I'd say probably mid-April, or at least not till the end of this month. I mean, if you think about it, you know, where basically the entire country is in lockdown. So things could get, you know, a little crazy, because there are certain people, the sheeple, or the ones that are not aware and not doing this work, that are going to try to take advantage of this situation. In a way, it almost feels like a real life purge movie, right? Because everybody's afraid of getting sick. So people are going to be going out there that aren't going to give a fuck, and they're going to try to take advantage. And they're already saying, you know, certain, you know, posts going around that people are already taking advantage of it. So this is where we have to be vigilant. We have to be realistic and really solid in our, you know, in being grounded in the present moment, because, you know, if there are real risks and threats and dangers out there, and this coming in this new world, it's becoming real. And with this forward moving energy, we're going to be in very vulnerable and very fragile states of being, but also our reality is now at a whole new level of vulnerability and fragility. Okay. And volatility too. So this is where, like, it's really important, guys, that we consistently communicate however we can with our loved ones. And, you know, we stay at home the best we can, make sure we stay protected the best we can. All right. And, you know, have plans in order, have a structure. Okay. Get unconventional, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. That's always the best. Like, a lot of these things going on really remind me of when I was in Iraq. Even with, like, the White House saying that they're going to start giving out people money. We used to do that in Iraq. And to be perfectly honest, it didn't do shit for their economy. But you can see where the thought process is. Okay. They want to try to ease, like, the chaotic nature of consciousness. But, you know, regardless, this Plutonian energy is very powerful. With Mars there, it's very volatile. It's a little unpredictable. Okay. So stay safe, watch yourselves, and really try to find a creative outlet to move forward with in this new cardinal energy. So in these numbers, I'm not going to, there is no 0 degree when it comes to inside degrees. So I'm going to go over the 30 degrees of Pisces, because that's basically the closest energy, and I really resonate with it. Okay. So 30 degrees of one sign is basically the same thing as 0 degrees of the next sign. But, you know, I feel that in particular, this one is very, very special, because it literally is like the first of the first of the first. Okay. It's a large halo and ring formation around the moon. The Earth is pregnant with alternate futures. Each of her progeny, each possible future could become the one chosen. The criteria center around whichever future streams is most genuinely surrendered to the highest will. It is the same microcosmically as macrocosmically. Many souls are pregnant with alternate futures. The one that prevails will likely be the one most surrendered to the absolute, the most rightful. You feel burstingly full of visions, possibilities, worlds, and streams, and you know that so very much shall pass by. But what is essential will keep on coming. It is very hard to tell who is who and what is what, which way to lean on, or how to conceive the way it shall go. But if you stay rooted in your inward awareness and enduring core sensibility, you will be tapped as a vessel for what is to be, and that is all you need to know. And I could not have said that any better myself. That's basically what we've been talking about this whole time. Okay. So there are so many possibilities. There are so many futures that could be happening. And we have to be careful not to get attached to the ideas of these, because we will get lost, so lost in these fucking rabbit holes. So the best thing to do is stay rooted in your core. You stay centered in yourself. Take care of yourself and the people that you love. And it will unfold the way it unfolds. And we have to have trust and faith in that. And that's the bottom line. Okay. So I wish you all positive, pure abundance and love. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I will see all you beautiful souls on the next report. Namaste.